What's going on, everyone? PyroBear1776 here, or Drew Bear. Welcome back. Hi, as always. So, there's something in particular that's been going around in my head for the past few weeks. But anyhow, I'll get right to it here. So, there used to be this show called Scared Straight or Beyond Scared Straight, one of the two. I can't really remember. It's one of those two. I do know that. But anyhow, what it basically consisted of, parents would sign their kids up for this, jail type program where these trouble kids, kids who had committed crimes or misdemeanors or have troubles at home or at school, whatever, picking fights, stealing stuff, taking drugs, etc., etc. Or bringing weapons to school, that kind of stuff, like little misdemeanor stuff that you can't really do, that maybe won't affect them then, but when they turn of age and actually if they're commit a crime and get in the system, then yeah, that will affect them, and that will follow them for the rest of their life. But anyhow, that's what this show was kind of about. It started in like the late 90s, I think, and it was on until the early 2000s. But anyhow, I've never actually seen the full-length episode because I think Scared Straight might have got taken off the network. I don't really know that it was on. I think there for a little while it was on A&E. But as you guys know, if you've been following the channel for any extended period of time, or if you're new here, first off, if you are new, hi, hello, how's it going? My name is Pyro Bear. But anyhow, I don't have a TV, haven't had a TV since July of 24. But so I don't really know what's on anymore. But anyhow, let me get back to the point at hand here. There was this one specific episode where this man, his name's Rodriguez or something like that. Sorry if I'm butchering that, but Rodriguez Roberto. I mean, he was Latino. He was a Mexicano. But his street name and name that he went by in there was known as Big Dragon. And this dude, I mean, I obviously I've never seen him in person because I'm not the one who was on the tour, or not the one who was in the camera crew, or whatever the case may be. But this dude, I mean, he's over 6 foot tall and he's over 300 pounds. And you think, man, this guy's massive. He must be extremely intimidating. He don't act like it. He acts very calm. Like when he was talking to the kids, bug in my face. But when he was talking to the kids, he acted extremely calm. He never raised his voice. He never cursed. He never tried to make the kids feel like they should be afraid of him. But you got to keep something in mind. I already mentioned the height and how much this dude weighs. And there's full-fledged SWAT, special weapons and tactics officers standing there with riot shields and pepper spray and tasers. And, they look like they're ready to go. And here's this massive dude standing there. I mean, he's big guy. Big guy from the video. But, he's got stomach shackle, handcuffs, and leg shackles all on, and they're just thinking like, oh boy, he's gonna try something, you watch. He's gonna try something bad, but we're gonna be ready. And keep in mind, this is all in front of about maybe 6 kids with them arm's length, maybe 2 arms length. But my point is with that is, all this is happening in very close vicinity of each other. The prisoner, Big Dragon, is very close to the kids. The kids are very close to Big Dragon. But the cops are and the SWAT, special weapons operators, and those guys, those officers, they're kind of off to the side a little bit, so the kids can kind of be and communicate with Big Dragon. So anyhow, I think at that time, Big Dragon had just got sentenced for a double murder. It was either a double murder or a double homicide, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. But, and, he just had the way that he talked to the kids, I already mentioned he didn't yell, scream, or curse, or get in their face, or do anything like that. He was just telling it how it is. Like this one kid, he had a gang tattoo on his neck right here, and he was already in trouble for stealing and picking fights at school, I believe, or something like that, something along the lines of that. And Big Dragon was telling him, dude, if you come in here with that on your neck, man, I feel sorry for you, bro. In here in the hole, everyone gets the crap kicked out of them. Of course, he didn't say crap, but everyone gets the crap kicked out of them when they come in here. That's mandatory. That's mandatory standard operations. And yeah, it is, because I've heard a lot of people say that, don't try to be a big bad bully if you ever get in trouble and have to serve time, because if you're going to act like a bully, you're the one who's going to get bullied. 9 times out of 10 anyway. But anyhow, my point of this is, if there's any other of you who have seen Scared Straight before, I'm sure you've seen a number of people that'll get in the kid's face and yell, scream, and curse at him and say, "You think you hard? Huh? Let's step out and fight." I mean, just like that. But Big Dragon, he has a way on him, and yeah, I'm saying has, because yeah, he's still alive. As of 2026, he's supposedly 50 years old. But he got like 2 or 3 counts of life for his crimes that he committed. He even mentioned before, I think, that it just started off with little stuff, like taking drugs and selling drugs when he was in grade school and whatever else, and stealing and underage drinking and going out and doing stuff he shouldn't have been doing with his brothers and whatever else. And he kept saying to himself, or thinking to himself, yeah, I know I'm getting in trouble, but yeah, I'll fix the ways I am later. I'll fix my life later. And later never came for him. And here he's 50 years old, still in the same padded walls, and he'll never see the street again. And that's sad. It really is sad. But again, my point to all this is, don't scream, yell, and curse. And don't try to be tough. Act tough, Don't try to act like a big bad Mojo Jojo. Yeah, I just said that. Come at me. But, don't try to act like a tough guy. Be a tough guy. Real tough guys, they don't scream, yell, and curse. They just stay stoic, stay calm under pressure, and they tell it how it is. I mean, there's a lot of fake tough guys out there. And, I'm not claiming I am one. I'm not claiming that this Big Dragon fellow from Scared Straight, I'm not claiming he's not a dangerous man. I mean, one of the sheriffs even said, who was watching over their little, I guess, meet and greet there, but without all those shackles on him, that's a dangerous man. And I believe that. 2 or 3 counts of murder. 2 or 3 life sentences. That man will never see the streets again. But stupid thing. But my point of this is, the way Big Dragon's demeanor was, he was very calm, cool, and collected. But he was and you could tell just by the way some of the kids were acting around him. I mean, some of them were fidgeting, blinking real fast, kept doing this. They were fidgeting because they were nervous to be around him. They were nervous to be in his presence because they knew, just based off word of mouth, they knew what he was capable of and what he had done to get himself in that position. They knew what he was capable of and what he had done to get there. But it seems like to me, the ones who yell, scream, and curse, they're not the scary ones. The ones who are quiet, cool, calm, and collected, those are the scary ones, because those are the people who have done some stuff and they've seen some stuff. Those are the ones who you really need to watch out for. Anyhow, with that in mind, I'm going to change gears here for a little bit. We have actually really needed to mow for the past several days, but for some reason it's rained like a lot during the month of May, and right now we're in the last week of May. I believe today is the 26th. Yesterday was Memorial Day, which was pretty great. I watched the Indy 500, with Snoop, Caitlin, and them. That was a great event. It was actually the first time that I'd ever watched the 500, which was pretty awesome. But, yeah, as bad as we need to rain, as bad as we need to mow, I'm really hoping it doesn't rain. But, if it does, it does. When, if it does, we might have to put in a little extra effort to make the yard look good. But, yeah, that's just my thought process a little bit. I'd love to do another walk and talk with the bear sometime. Love to do another food review thing on my channel. I don't know. I mean, those don't really work out that well. And until I can find another way to do bear by the fire, so I don't have to keep constantly holding my phone up like this so you can see a fire over my shoulder or something, I'm going to have to find some way how to do that, because that kills my shoulder. It really does. But anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've heard of Scared Straight before, or you've seen it, or what have you, post it down in the comments below. And even better, if you know who I'm talking about with Big Dragon, the Latino guy who did all that stuff, and he talked to the kids and said this, that, and the other thing, put that down in the comments below too. I'd love to hear your thoughts about him. But something that I feel like all of us need to remember, and I already said this, but I'm going to say it again because I feel like it. But the ones who scream, yell, curse, and act crazy, those are not the ones you need to watch out for. The ones who stay quiet, are calm and collected, and the ones who keep eye contact and don't slam tables and do whatever else and throw stuff, those are the ones you need to watch out for. Because those people, they're built different. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Maybe try to shave. I know, I need to. Bad. But anyhow, guys, I'll talk to you later. See you, everyone.